We have all been there. You're trying to apply for that job and you're creating a perfect application, a perfect resume, a perfect cover letter, but you're still getting rejected and you don't know why. These are the three underrated mistakes that many applicants do, including me. I have done them, and these are something that I overlooked for a very long time. Correcting these three mistakes are very likely to help you to land your job much faster. Let's get started. One of the mistakes that many candidates do, and I have done the same thing, is overestimating your own skills. I have seen many people write that they're an expert in machine learning, but they barely have an experience. So you cannot say you're proficient or expert without backing that up with something a strong portfolio. You have clear self-awareness about the fact how good you are. Okay, just because I've studied some machine learning, I've done a couple of boot camps, I know I'm fit for this job. But then you actually get into an interview call and they'll ask you some advanced questions, or maybe even simple basic theoretical questions. Chances are you might falter, which means your fundamentals are not very clear. This mistake is a classic example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. In this graph, you can see that it's a confidence versus a knowledge graph. So when you have low knowledge, you think you'll have a high confidence because you have some amount of knowledge. When you have that point, and the more knowledge you gain, right, you realize that there is way more to this stuff than I realized. At one point of time, when you have enough knowledge, then everything starts to make sense. And when it starts to make sense and your confidence boosts up again. Don't blame yourself. Many people fall victim to the Dunning-Kruger effect. I myself have been doing that a lot. Mistake number 2 is using the LinkedIn's Easy Apply. The problem with that feature is Easy Apply lowers the bar of entry, and it makes the recruiters or the job posters' life unimaginable. And I'll tell you what happened from this personal experience. When I switched to data science after being in the SAP world, I switched to a very small data analyst job in a very small company which was founded just in COVID. No one had heard of us, and I was asked to post this JD. I posted it. I got over 400 applications. There is no way I could go through 400 applications. We don't have a software or anything, no ATS, nothing. I had to manually go through the 400 applications to figure out, do we have a decent candidate or not. We found a few people who we could interview, but many candidates were just not suitable. And this point again goes back to point number 1, that people did overestimate their abilities. So when you click on LinkedIn Apply, you'll probably see 500, 600, 1,000 applicants there. How do you think you're going to stand out? It's very difficult to stand out within that sea of resumes because it's all luck. Because what I did was, when I got those 400 resumes, I just took a few ones which we were getting, those 400 resumes did not come in like a one-shot thing. I did not know how that worked, so I just, as the resumes kept coming into my inbox, I just kept checking it as well as, and when I realized there is a huge pile of resumes coming in, I simply gave up. So with using something like a random search, I just picked some of the resumes because there is no way I have the time to go through all of them. I had to skip almost like 150, 200 resumes. Almost 50% of the pile was discarded because I just did not have the energy for that. This might not be the case with a recruiter who probably has a lot more time and experience dealing with such scenarios. Imagine you're a recruiter and you're given like 1,000 documents to read, or anything 1,000 resumes to read. Would you go through all of them? It's not possible. They would probably use a software to filter out, take the top 10, 20, 30 resumes. So how do you get the resume shortlisted? That's a different discussion, which I've already mentioned in my resume guide. I will link the playlist in the video and you can check that. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to take the top 5, 10 resumes, going to pass through and then pass it to the hiring manager, and then they make a decision. That's it. TLDR is, do not use the Easy Apply. Actually go to the company's job profile, create an account if necessary, and apply on that. It's a bit harder, but no good thing in life ever comes easy. Mistake number 3, instead of targeting companies, you're just throwing the net everywhere, trying to grab some opportunity. Of course, that is understandable for freshers. And instead of that, you target certain companies or certain industry that you're interested in. Doing projects for that particular domain, for the particular industry, or even better if it's for a particular company that you're applying for and putting it on the resume, that would help you a lot more, and that would help you to stand out in an application process than just be some vanilla candidate out there. To do this, you target a few companies, make a list of like say 10 to 15 companies. You add people of the companies to your LinkedIn profile, talk to them, make some connections with them, have a call with them to understand the positions, what they do, that you're interested in such a role, or what do they do. Be interested in what they do, and that would help you get a referral. add the people of those companies that you're targeting, talk with them, have a chat with them, understand what they do, how the culture is, how the work is, what kind of problems they work on, any questions you require, ask them, and then you go ahead and apply for those roles. Make a portfolio of such similar projects, especially if the domain or for the company projects, and then you apply for those roles. This would help you to stand out in the application process